Returning to CoinSuri's channel is an absolute pleasure. Request from new viewer is, which of these options do you prefer? Please people cast your vote in the community option. Option A XRP. Option B Ripple. Option C SEC. Headlines from crypto fundamental analysts state that JPMorgan has made a substantial investment in XRP, and the director of Ripple reacts to this news. This is completely bewildering to me. To be clear, I'm not going to act like this isn't happening. I respectfully disagree. If you believe that Wall Street firms will want your XRP at some time, the adoption rate will surely rise, and even Wall Street is starting to perceive itself as a stakeholder in Bitcoin. In case you were wondering, I covered exactly this ground in my last video. A spot XRP ETF's acceptance might be the initial manifestation of this. This is because, during a live interview that aired on Fox Business, Charles Gasparino posed a question to Larry Fink, CEO of Schwarzrock. Did you know that BlackRock is planning to launch an XRP ETF soon? I apologize, but I'm veering off the subject. Let me tell you a story. A little more pessimism has been creeping in recently, and I don't want to drag any of you down with it, so I suggest we start with some positive bull arguments. I should preface this by saying that I am not receiving any form of financial support. Finances are irrelevant to my representation. It goes without saying that you shouldn't do any business with money related to my suggestions either. Making videos on YouTube about cryptocurrency is something I do for fun and as a hobby. All I am is an admirer. When I record this, I will also make a notation that Atom is present. At its current price, XRP is about 58 cents per door, whereas Bitcoin is just about $43,000. Since the price of Bitcoin has been mostly unchanged, or even slightly increased, throughout most of the information I will be sharing with you, I would like to share the opinions of competent crypto chart analysts with you. I have a backlog of posts with viewpoints from reputable crypto experts, however, we shall read them in the order in which they appear. I feel forced to add that during the period he was writing these posts, the price of Bitcoin barely budged. First up, we have this post, which is just a Bitcoin price chart. He shared this less than 24 hours ago, at 11:40 a.m. The following was written by him yesterday. I am almost at my goal of lowering myself. Bitcoin will surely hit a new all-time high shortly, according to the chart animals and the trustworthy crypto community. Let's begin at the bottom and go up to $47,000 and beyond. This market cycle, I promise you, will not end. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high of around $49,000 the other day, disproving his contrary notion that we are presently at an all-time low. He insists the monarch has more surprises in store. In addition, he has been arguing this point for some time. This is going to start climbing again, he believes, and we've reached that point. A lot of people are disappointed that the ETF didn't cause a huge bubble, but I didn't anticipate it being this interesting. I was looking for more of a sell the news mentality, but I didn't expect it to trigger a market upswing. It was 11:40 a.m. when things got back on track. This post was made yesterday at 3:18 p.m. Furthermore, he wrote the following. We noticed a Bitcoin in this area, and it appears that the majority of the requests have already been addressed or surveyed. The low bids of $40,000 are still going on. The bid/support level has recently been stronger than the ask/resistance level. This supports my idea, as our local bottom is either in or very close to being in. We think we're getting close to that spot. If the local bottom is truly in, there shouldn't be any pushback from $47,000. Someone even asked that soon after you mentioned it. Nevertheless, trustworthy crypto responded to the man's worries and assured him that he will be updated soon. Consolidation exceeding $47,000 was also brought up, and he stressed that there would be no harsh refusal. I guess so, although we might have to go off course for a bit before we launch. He has been adamant about the fact that we are in this protracted NT cycle for a long time. This will be trending upwards. Additionally, he claims that the next leg is almost ready to go. Next, this post was made yesterday at 4:50:55 p.m. The chart showed the price of Bitcoin as usual, and he said that the funding situation had returned to neutral, the premium had leveled out, and levered lungs had shown some interest. I want to maintain a watchful eye here for any signs of a potential upward reversal. I suppose it must have arrived because this is the most recent one on this subject as of 5:19 p.m. Furthermore, he said that the shorts will take up the remaining difficulties after we reach $44,000, which will bring us back to $47,000 and beyond. So, he watches how people act. The analysis of real-life transaction conduct led him to this conclusion. I rarely see someone with his level of attention to detail and analytical prowess able to make sound short-term decisions. When addressing issues with a shorter time horizon, he investigates the actual actions of speculators. He does that when talking to others. And lastly, this, which, if true, ought to give you hope. But there's an analyst here named Posty. It makes no difference if I am clueless as to their identity. However, he made this Bitcoin price chart public. Plus, we're back in 2018 and it's crystal clear that this is the last cycle. In his letter, he expressed his belief that the topic would be amusing. Is anyone else concerned that Bitcoin could end up like any of these? For those who can't see it on screen, I will just describe it. We can look back at this Bitcoin price chart from 2018 again. At one exciting time in the middle of 2019, Bitcoin's value was surging. Considering the massive increase we've seen in the prior market cycle, it might not be immediately obvious, but upon closer inspection, you'll notice that it was a substantial increase. Actually, I saw this happen right before my eyes. But after we got there, what happened? I think you should go back to the lower setting for the time being. Take a year, for instance. Who are you? How important are you? There were some interesting price hikes, weren't there? This was something I saw firsthand. Where exactly are we now, as we are seemingly orbiting what could be considered the epicenter of 2019? Maybe B? Which one would that be, towards the month's end? In the month of September? Where does 2020 stand? Is it the way things stand right now? On the other hand, have we made any more headway? Until things started to get even more complicated, but they still weren't, right? Is the ship in motion? So, this is like the American frontier in the second half of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, right before things start to heat up in 2021, but that was before Bitcoin's value skyrocketed to nearly $70,000. Therefore, precisely where are we? Again, he's sure we're about to go on a huge run, so I'm curious to hear your take on this. Additionally, I would like to inform you about reliable cryptocurrency solutions. The way the charts are shaping out, it's clear this cryptocurrency is going to be serious. What we are witnessing is, according to his analysis, the most likely result. I usually don't predict prices, but if that's the case, I will. I always keep my ignorance to myself. I don't know of any ways to cut corners. As enthralled by it as the rest of the audience is right now, I must admit. Before delving further into this topic, I think it would be interesting to hear the thoughts of other analysts on the matter. However, if he is right, things are just going to become crazy from this point forward. This is what will decide the result. Michael van der Veld, a chart analyst, provides a further alternative in this piece. The market capitalization of Bitcoin is displayed in this dominance chart. Furthermore, he wrote the following. It appears that Bitcoin's dominance reached its pinnacle prior to the halving, and given the momentum behind Ethereum, it's probable that this pattern will persist. This might be the peak of the dominance cycle when the Bitcoin bull market starts. Listen, I'm not going to pretend that I know when Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high, but I sincerely hope that it does. The value of altcoins has been skyrocketing as of late, but that doesn't mean they're dominating the market. Therefore, I only wanted to emphasize that this does not necessarily indicate that the price of Bitcoin will keep falling, even if Bitcoin's dominance decreases and we have achieved the cycle high, and who am I to claim that we haven't? After all, Bitcoin's value can rise even if alternative cryptocurrencies keep beating it. The only valid questions here are, to what extent, and, as mentioned at the film's outset, in the end, when considering the possibility of a price increase for Bitcoin relative to alternative cryptocurrencies. As I indicated before, an XRP ETF is the first viable option, However, this is not the primary focus of the film. The primary objective is to demonstrate how Wall Street will desire a share in the luscious XRP profit. Although I must admit that I was surprised by this development, that is hardly the main point of the essay written by a crypto fundamental analyst asserting that JPMorgan has made substantial investments in XRP x Ripple. Still, I've decided to bring it up anyhow. This is how it appears in the piece. After Ben Armstrong, a former member of the Bitcoin crypto brand, revived baseless claims that JPMorgan was contemplating a big investment in XRP, an angry ex-Ripple director reacted. Armstrong, a prominent figure in the Bitcoin sector, later made this information public in a series of tweets. More than 7.5 million XRP coins have been acquired by JPMorgan, according to him. Armstrong claims that this move by JPMorgan represents over 7.5% of the total value of the bank. This calculation, however, contains a major mistake. In particular, at the present price of $4.46 million, holding 7.5 million XRP would increase JPMorgan's wealth to $59.46 million, constituting 7.5% of the bank's total wealth. This is totally off base, because the most recent appraisal for 2023 estimated JPMorgan's total assets to reach $3.89 trillion. In his disclosure, Armstrong emphasized the significance of JPMorgan's move, emphasizing that it should not be ignored. According to him, JPMorgan has been acquiring XRP in secret, solidifying the bank's position as a major participant in the cryptocurrency market. Notably, the world's largest asset management, BlackRock, was also the target of Armstrong's charges. The asset manager is considering adding XRP to its investment portfolio, he said. It recently received approval for its iShares Bitcoin ETF. Ben Armstrong brought up the ongoing legal dispute between Ripple and the US SEC. Armstrong asserts that these large institutions' bold moves, made despite the legal restriction, demonstrated growing faith in XRP's future. While the legal fights drag on, XRP has now obtained regulatory clarity, and if there was ever an accumulation trend like this, it would indicate that influential financial players are betting on it. Wall Street will, in fact, become increasingly involved in the cryptocurrency space. I remember having this exact conversation over 5 years ago, when it seems totally unbelievable, therefore it has always been the case. We have it today with Bitcoin, so don't say it won't happen with XRP. It is with you that I respectfully disagree. The moment will come. Now the truth is, none of the things said here are true. The piece, however, continues. In response to Armstrong's assertions, even if such a purchase did occur, ex-Ripple director Matt Hamilton says it wouldn't matter because there are so many XRP in circulation right now. So he did a quick computation in this domain. His response was, "I'm assuming this is a parody account responding to Ben Armstrong," implying that he thought it was feasible to mock Armstrong. For those who are struggling with the numbers, 100 billion XRP exist. Out of a total of 100 billion, 7.5 million, or 0.07%, makes it. That being the case, the math was obviously wrong. He makes that point plainly. Hence, the quoted information was obviously wrong. But it was interesting because I couldn't stop wondering, where on earth did this come from? And I found it. The website in question is crypto-based and disseminates misinformation. I wanted to make this video mostly to talk about this exact thing. To put it plainly, if you come across this website, you should not trust it and should immediately click away. By fake news, I genuinely mean that this website distributes fictional stuff. Naturally, they do it to further their own social circles. It would appear that they are succeeding. I would venture to say that they are making a profit. Most bizarre is the way they blend actual news stories with fictional ones to give the impression that the former is factual. Just so you are aware, BlackRock and JPMorgan purchased about 7.5 million XRP on November 18, 2023, to avoid the hassle of listing them on major exchanges. This is the first instance of the second fine, which is why Ben Armstrong is bringing it up now, less than 2 months after the incident. Holy cow! You're completely clueless. Sadly, this is completely old news. This is all a mirage. It must be obvious to you that there is zero evidence of this, right? The dishonest news website is unquestionably its source. On June 30, 2023, this was the crypto panic headline. Remember this one. If you believe the SEC sources, Gary Gensler has officially stepped down. It is fiction, therefore you can vote for it if you like. The answer is yes, it is fiction. These are the people that are making these ridiculous claims. Every time I watch him, he does insane stuff. On top of that, it annoys me, since XRP members do hear about it. Those who are disseminating this news source should be made aware of the fact that I have been keeping track of it since then. Whatever, I'll tell you what, I will also not trust you if you insist on doing it anyhow. Now picture this, someone fell for the scam, thinking it was a real crypto media site. I think we can all agree on that. No one will hold it against you. All I did was challenge individuals who keep bringing this up. I wanted to bring it up because it has been a hotly disputed topic in the XRP community, and even if some people do it, it is extensively debated. See to the XRP problems, you know. I will, therefore, inevitably, bring it up. Nevertheless, let this website serve as a warning, it is not trustworthy. Additionally, they will continue publishing about XRP-related topics for people, particularly XRP holders, since it is receiving a lot of attention and they have found that our community is a good source of traffic. You are being taken advantage of by these individuals. Please do not visit this website. It's garbage. I don't know why Armstrong brought it up, but the claim is totally unfounded. That's all I can say about it. Please do not place your faith in me as a financial advisor, I do not offer investment advice. Your support in the form of a subscription and rating would be tremendously appreciated. Until we meet again, goodbye.